In designing and milling for full arch, you'll often see the screw axis holes coming out the occlusal or the lingual aspect, but every once in a while you'll have a case where you'll have that one screw channel that's not working out so well. And in this case, you can see the screw channel, which are these white little tubes, is coming out the facial aspect of this tooth. And in order to get it a little bit, if the patient has a broad smile, you'll be able to see the screw channel. And so to avoid this, you want to angulate the screw channel as much as you possibly can to get this out of the way. So you can angle this, and you also need to mill these screw channels and have a screw that you want to use to be able to go directly to multi-unit abutment interface with your zirconia. So we'll click on our draggable margins, and we'll move this a little bit more posterior, and we'll move it to the occlusal aspect. So this is a 25-degree rotation from its original point, as you can see here. That's a little bit long for a mill, so we can even get it up to 20. And you can see the screw channel coming out the occlusal aspect. And that's going to be better for these two implants in position and adds a little bit more thickness of zirconia. Now to look at this from a slice, you can see how most oftentimes you'll have a straight shot for the screw channel, but in the one further posterior where we just angulated the screw channel, you can see that there's going to be an angulation from the original trajectory of the screw to the new trajectory of the screw. And this can be achieved in milling profiles for your full arches. This is really, really important aspect. Also, and this is in zirconia. Now, if you want to mill in another material, so in this case, we're milling a titanium bar substructure, and we have on top of it either PMMA or zirconia that's going to go on top. So you can see the substructure in the image below, and then this is the screw channel direction. So the screw in this instance is going to seat inside the titanium bar substructure, and you're going to have two separate mills, the mill for the titanium substructure and also the mill for the PMMA. So your bar gets milled. As such, the screws will be able to be screwed inside the bar, and then the superstructure will be cemented on top of this. But the neat part is you can angle these screw channels inside the bar and through the zirconia or the PMMA or whatever you have to be able to get a more aesthetic outcome with the screw access holes not coming out through the facial.
The specialty screw is the only screw that can be milled without a multi-unit coping, can be milled with a multi-unit coping, and can be milled within angled bars. The specialty screw can be used with a multi-unit abutment, titanium bar, and a multi-unit coping. What makes this screw so unique is its shape, which allows it to be held down by the lateral walls in apical direction, protecting the crown from loosening or breaking. Another feature is the increased amount of zirconia that sits under the screw head for extra stability and strength. The specialty screw has different prosthesis types, allowing the clinician to increase the height of the screw channel. This increases the thickness of the zirconium and in turn increases the strength of material, going from 0.8 mm to 1.4 mm respectively. For shorter teeth, the 1.0 mm or 0.8 mm is used, so the screw is sitting deep enough to still be able to add screw hole material. A conventional screw does not have a tapered head and therefore does not have the ability of being held down by the lateral walls and the apical direction. A conventional screw only allows for 0.4 mm of zirconia under the screw head. This makes the connection between the crown and the implant weak, and many times causes breakage. The specialty screw can be used in many different situations. The first being used with a multi-unit abutment. The specialty screw is placed into the multi-unit abutment, showing the stability of the lateral walls and the apical direction with the zirconia under the screw head. The specialty screw can be placed at an angle of up to 15 degrees when using with a multi-unit abutment. When using the specialty screw with a titanium bar, you have an angled screw placement of up to 25 degrees. When using the specialty screw with a multi-unit coping, you have an angled screw placement of up to 25 degrees. The T5 Torx driver will fracture when over-torquing 15 Newton-centimeters. The conventional screw breaks when torqued over 15 Newton-centimeters.